Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. It's been a while, hasn't it? And yeah, just been working, just preparing for my holidays. But yeah, so gonna take a break from the usual album reviews, I'd say, on the channel and talk a bit more in this video about soundtrack to an obvious film, SCARFACE. So you probably won't know because I haven't mentioned it on my channel yet. I haven't talked about movies yet on my channel, but SCARFACE, one of my favourite movies of all time. Really, I love it. And a part of that is the soundtrack and the original score. So in this video, we'll be talking about this release. Now, you see that there, expanded motion picture soundtrack. So this came out around about 6 weeks ago, I believe. Now, a brief overview of the album or soundtrack. So you've got, so it's released by La La Land Records, which are an American label, and limited edition to 5,000 copies. See it on the back there, right in the corner. If that'll pick it up or not, I don't know. If not, I'll just tell you now. It's limited to 5,000 copies. It's a 2 CD expanded edition of the original score, previously unofficially released separately from the film. So that was the catch for me. Previously released was the songs, the songs off the film were released, but the original score wasn't released separately. So this is the original vinyl album or record, released in 1983 on MCA. There's the back there, and on the standard edition you get 10 songs. Again, all heard on the films, and you can actually you can get that version on CD quite regularly and on Spotify. So that one's out there. You can listen to it now if you want. Great soundtrack. I love it. Yeah. So this is widely available. This version of the soundtrack, probably the canon version of the soundtrack. But like I said, you get the original score of this CD, which was previously unreleased. Officially anyway, there may be bootlegs knocking around, or I'm sure you can get some off SoundCloud as well. And you also get some additional music. So I'll tell you the layout of the album and the CD. Disc 1, you get the score presentation, which was previously officially unreleased officially. That's what I wanted to say. And disc 2 is the original soundtrack album, which is this. And you also get a section called additional music, which is either different versions of songs and instrumentals that didn't make the cut. So, a bit more of the background. You also get, like I said, it's a 2 CD package. Here's the inside of it. It's a picture of Tony with his gear, getting absolutely wired. So have a look at the CDs. There's disc 1, and there's disc 2, and another picture of Tony right there. Also features some extensive liner notes, which are really good actually. Gets into great detail about how certain songs came about, what they were going for, and yeah, a very cocaine sound indeed. And I'll talk a little bit about the music in a bit, but yeah, it's just some of the photos from the liner notes. Again, it's really good, extensive. Stills from the film. Another. So yeah, just flicking through these images, it's a fantastic film. It's one of my favourite films of all time. Due to watch it again. It's Tony and Manolo. There's some behind the scenes pictures, by the looks of it. Brian De Palma there, who was also director of the film. Screenplay by Oliver Stone, which a lot of people do forget, and I mean, I'm trying to prevent this video from becoming a movie review, but you know, a lot of people forget that Oliver Stone actually wrote the screenplay for it. Yeah, there we go. So that's the CD looked at. That's the packaging sorted. So yeah, bought this off Discogs. It was imported from US. The buyer, sorry, was a British buyer, but he was buying them from the US. You could tell. Paid £44 for it, brand new, mint condition, sealed. And so I'll go over the genre. So you've got the original soundtrack album, which is also on disc 2 here. That's, you know, it's a post-disco sound, disco 80s synth pop, you know, cheesy 80s pop really. That's what it is. Bit of new wave in there. Now the soundtrack, the score presentation, which gets played throughout the titles in the movie, is vastly different. You know, it gets overshadowed, I think, by the 80s-ness, the 80s-ness, if that's even a word, of the main soundtrack. You know, that one, it's got a lot of ambience, instrumental, very drony at times, well, very dramatic, sharp, menacing soundtrack. And so yeah, now I'm gonna get into the pros and cons of this. So we'll start off with the cons, because spoiler alert, I don't think there's many cons, but the major one, which I found, is you're gonna end up paying £44 for this if you're from the UK, like myself. And for me, packaging's a little bit basic. I mean, I love the 2 CD, I love the liner notes. I think the liner notes are a great addition, more to that. Bit of a tight fit, I think, and you know, them cases, and just why I don't like collecting CDs that much. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to quickly go and get a CD now, which is probably my ideal packaging choice, I would say, for this. I'll be back in, well, I'll just pause the video. So yeah, back again. So yeah, I would maybe recommend it if it came in something like this, you know, like a booklet type. Like this is obviously this is a Kinks album, and yeah, like a nice material, extensive, you know, liner notes as well. They could have done that like that, and you know, maybe the CDs like that, you know, pull out the top. You know, I think that would have been a better alternative, especially for the price you pay as well. Anyway, that's enough of the Kinks. Maybe one day on the channel. And yeah, I mean, bit of a disappointing. I think, you know, for being a limited release, they could have maybe put more effort in that. You know, another con is the release itself. You know, with it being a limited release, I would love to have had it on another format. You know, obviously, you know by now I love collecting records, so it would have been great to have, you know, maybe like a double LP expanded edition on a record, gatefold sleeve. You know, they could have went out there. I have heard that this may be getting the what's the word? A digital release. You know, like you can go on the internet and listen to it on Spotify or something. I heard that might be the case, but anyway, that's the cons for me. Now the pros. Back to packaging. I will say it does look nice. You know, we've got the only cover this soundtrack should have is this one. It's one of the most iconic movie posters of all time. Shows the liner notes. Liner notes are brilliant. You know, really good. Got some nice pictures in there, so that's good. Another pro for me is you get a lot of music. You get 2 hours and 36 minutes of music on this. You get 2 discs of music as well. Sound quality is perfect. You know, I've played through it a couple of times. Brilliant. And yeah, another weird pro I've got to say is the order. The order of this. They could have went, disc one, all out with with the with the music from the original score, which everyone knows and loves. Push it limit track one, but no. Instead, they give you the score presentation. They don't mess around. They give you every slice of music that was on the film, and yeah, and that, like I said earlier, the soundtrack. It's very, very. Sorry, the score is very, very different compared to the release soundtrack. It's very menacing, dark. So you get, it's kind of a relief when you get on the disc too, and you hit the 80s pop. You're like, whew, like, thank God for that. After the tense sections of music, which is good. Like nice track order there. I also like the track titles. The well. If you've seen the film, you'll know what I mean. Like track 2's Rebenga. You've got track 3 Chainsaw, which leads into Tony Rescued. Track 4 I Got the Yayo. Night Drive. Gina, She's Not For You. Bolivia. Saucers, which leads to Talk to Frank. Omar Out. Don't Fuck Me. The Chase 49 Citrus Drive. Paranoid Tony. Yeah, there's some great track titles there, which are really suitable, I think. And the final pro I've got to say is it is faithful, very, very faithful to the original soundtrack. And this is for everything. You've got, done comparisons to this and this, perfectly same. Haven't been meddled with at all. Everything's just, good, true to the original. So, go on to the music highlights now. I'm not going to review the soundtrack in this video. I might do one day, but personal standout to me was the main theme, which was used off the game. And if you're a UFC fan, Jorge Masvidal, he walks out of it. Rebenga was good. Elvira, Gina. These are just track titles, by the way, off the score presentation. So Elvira's score, Gina's score. Bolivia's a really, really sort of famous one, used in South Park. Sosa, Talk to Frank. Omar Out, Don't Fuck Me. Proposal's a good piece. Tony spots Gina, leading on to which I call the Babylon Club medley, which is Tony spots Gina, Tony slaps Gina, Tony guilty. Shooters. What About You? Open Fire. Tony escapes. That full piece of music's brilliant, and it's part one of my personal favourites of the movie. That full, that running scene, used really well there. You've also got, which I like, Lopez Beggs, The World Is Yours is fantastic. That's a great theme. Plant the Plastic, 49 Citrus Drive, Paranoid Tony, Gina's Grief, which then you get the sequence, which I like to call the attack sequence, which is through Tony's Grief, attack begins, Crazy Gina, attack continues. Yeah, great stuff there. And the end title's also brilliant as well. So that's all my highlights. 28 tracks in total, not including medleys, which I have listed. So, on the additional music, some of these wouldn't have been heard of all. You've got Rush version 2, which is basically, which I prefer, actually. I do prefer this version. It's much more meatier, there's more substance to it. The original version on this has a very, very sort of like a stripped feel of it, a very raw feel. This one's got more layers of stuff going on, more produced is what I'm trying to say. Right Combination's a good track as well, by Beth Anderson. Personally, in my opinion, I would have probably put it on the score instead of the dreadful I'm Hot Tonight. Dreadful song. Cuban, and then you get a string of Cuban music, which is Cuban 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 I thought were good pieces, and then you get Muzak 1 through 3, which I think 1 and 2 were good as well. Yeah, so that's my highlight additional music. Yeah, good release. Get your hands on it if you're a fan of the film. Yeah, so if I was going to summarise it, if you're a fan of the film, you've got to buy it. Obviously, it's an essential buy because you're getting all that music physically that was previously unreleased officially. So yeah, definitely go out and buy it. It's brilliant. Yeah, took a while to get there. Took us 4 weeks to get it because the Discog supplier had bother with his shipment. So yeah, but yeah, apart from that, yeah, I'll be back soon on the channel, and take care. Goodbye.